just want everyone to know. I'll tell the world, yeah. I'll tell the world. I just want everyone to know.
Good morning, everybody. Holy shit, we're finally live. Good morning, Cap Nation Live. Super late, and I'd like to say better late than never, but not in this case, man. Holy shit, I'm really late. I do apologize. Literally everybody from the Vegas office, with the exception of like 3 individuals, are out. Thank God. I said I was going to go by the Vegas office and take care of some business there when I was there in Vegas. I'm so glad that I did not. So glad that I did not. Because my ass probably would have got it. The whole office got it. The whole office got it. But anyways, nonetheless, talking about that is just killing our time here. So I do apologize. I'm doing like things that I never do, like post play. So if you guys see something that's incorrect, by the way, I posted some of the plays today. Not the Bellator UFC stuff, but the other stuff I posted. So if I screwed up, that's not my job department, and it's definitely not my area of expertise logging into this to the web system and posting shit. So if you guys see something, please let me know and bear with me. And I do apologize in advance. Rich says, yeah, Kyle's now head of accounting and marketing and making the picks. Making the picks, yes. That is definitely one of my fortes and one of my specialties, and I have more say than anybody in here. But as far as the head of accounting and marketing and all of that shit, no. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Alrighty, so we're going to jump right into it. By the way, FC will be on the live show today. Our brother FC will be on the live show today. And we're going to jump into it because obviously game starting in 16 minutes. And we got a frozen screen already. Hey, that's a good frozen photo. We've seen a hell of a lot worse, let me tell you. We have seen a hell of a lot worse frozen photos, so I do not mind that one at all. I don't mind that one at all, folks. Matt says that face, though, somebody's excited. Definitely excited. I'm definitely excited for today. I sucked yesterday, guys. I absolutely sucked. I took it in the keister. And, hold on 1 second. All right. Raider for life, I like what you're thinking, man. I like what you're thinking. We'll see what we can do. We don't have a lot of early games today. We've got a couple early games that we're playing. I know I'm playing one. Premium plays have one, but other than that, everything is later in the day for us. Guaranteed Saturday is not until 3:30 Eastern time. My game of the week yesterday. Man, I got sucked in to that San Diego State game, and I rolled with the over. I rolled with the over on that one, and got hammered. 6-6 overtime. Oh, my Lord. I actually thought for a second, we had over 40.5. I thought for a second, 2 scores away, 2 touchdowns away. I thought for a split second, somehow, some way, we would somehow get that win in OT and live to fight another day, but that was not the case. That was not the case. Sucked. But yeah, no, I definitely fell for the trap on the over. I honestly expected a lot of points, and we definitely did not get it. I figured even though they've got such tough and stout defenses, they would definitely have a little breakdown, and they did not, unfortunately. So I did drop my game of the week. Everybody that was on it, you guys will get next week's as a makeup, and that's the first one that I've lost in a very, very, very long time. All right, very long time. So let's jump right into the games, folks. All right, because games are starting and they are getting ready to get underway. By the way, NHL is undefeated again. NHL wins again yesterday. We're 4 wins in a push so far. 4 wins in a push in the NHL. We have not lost one play yet, and the season is on sale until the end of tomorrow. It's normally $600 for the entire season. It's on sale for $300. I know all of you guys that have already bought it. Most of you guys have already paid for your entire season. If not, paid for it in the first day or two. And it's 50% off for the NHL season, and there's 2 NHL plays posted for later on this evening. So $300 for the entire season if you do it before Sunday. If not, it'll end up being whatever it is, $200 a week and then $600 for the season or something like that. Something like that. Alrighty. So, what do we got planned for today? Let's jump into the games. All right, let's jump right into the games. First one that I want to take a look. I want to take a look at that Nebraska and Minnesota game. It's game 143 and 144. It starts in 13 minutes. We're going to do these extremely fast, or at least we're going to attempt to. So if I don't acknowledge comments in the comment section, I do apologize. I will here in a little bit because we have FC coming on at a certain time in like 20 minutes. So we got to be able to get through as much as we can in the next 20 minutes. So here we go. Nebraska, Minnesota. Minnesota guys at home 3-2 straight up, 2-1 against the spread. Their last 3 games have gone under. Alex, no, the board has not been replaced yet. I did not get a replacement. So let's hold the questions for at least like 20 minutes. That way we can get through some breakdowns of these early ones. Nebraska, on the other hand, 3-4 straight up. They've completed 7 games so far, and they have been a covering magnet, 5-2 against the spread. Their last 2 games against both Michigan and Northwestern. Both have gone over the total. Northwestern, they won 56-7. We had a total of 51.5 in that game. And then Michigan, they had Michigan on the ropes, 32-29, and they were catching 2 points. They did not cover the spread, but that game did go over the total of 50 by 11 points. In today's game, we get a line of Nebraska laying 4.5, minus 109, as well as a total over and under 48.5 points. 48.5. Remember that number. Nebraska averaging 31.9 points per game, 223 on the ground, 271 in the air, an excellent 9.9 yards per passing attempt. You got Minnesota averaging 192 on the ground at 4.2 yards per carry, 142 in the air. Very lackluster for Minnesota in the air this year. Very, very, very lackluster. As far as the defenses go, you got Nebraska, who gives up 17.9 points a game, 19.6 points per game. When you add them all up, what do you get, guys? You get 37.5 points per game, which puts us just 11 points off of what the actual total is. You get Nebraska, who gives up 134 on the ground, 3.9 yards per carry. They give up just 208 in the air, 6.2 yards per passing attempt. Minnesota gives up 77 rushing yards a game against the likes of Ohio State, Miami of Ohio, Colorado, Bowling Green, Purdue, and Nebraska. Or excuse me, not Nebraska, because the Nebraska game hasn't started yet. But again, most of that was against Bowling Green, Colorado, Miami of Ohio that they stifled them. They give up 231 in the air at 7 yards per passing attempt. Look for Nebraska to exploit that through the air and definitely take full advantage of it. Turnovers. Nebraska, -1. Minnesota is +4 in this department. Minnesota on an 8-2 against the spread streak for decent scoring teams that average 30 points a game or more. All right? I know a lot of you guys are going to say under. I don't think that's going to be the case. All right. When you take a look at Minnesota, they could not stop Ohio State. They gave up 45 points to Ohio State. They gave up 26 in a win to Miami of Ohio. They did stifle and shut down Colorado, but it ain't that hard to do. They did give up 13 to Purdue, and Purdue sucks. And then you take a look at Nebraska on offense. All right. They put up 52 against Fordham. They put up 28 against Buffalo. They put up 20 in a loss against Michigan State. Yeah, they still were able to put up 20 over them. They put up 56 against Northwestern. And against a very tough Michigan team, which you guys know I've made a shit ton of money on so far this season, riding Michigan correctly, they put up 29 against Jim Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines. That should tell you enough against that Michigan defense that they were able to put up and be competitive with Michigan for the entire game, all the way down to the end, and they put up 29 on it in a game where we saw 51 with the same total of 50. Now, obviously, if Minnesota had played Michigan, I don't think the thing would be the same. As far as the side goes, I do lean towards Nebraska laying the 4.5. However, sorry folks, I'm on the over. In 8 minutes, I'm on the over. I see a lot of you guys in the chat rolling with the under. I don't want to persuade anybody in the opposite direction, but we're rolling with the over. All right, we're rolling with the over so much that we are giving it out. Hold on one second, folks. Alrighty. As far as the total goes, it's 48.5. The fact that we get it less than 49, sign me up. Sign me up. And you know what? It's going on the board. And I know I'm going to make a lot of you unhappy now, but I promise to the ones that do bet it, I don't want to promise because anything's possible when you're betting on humans. But to me, it's definitely worth a nice bet, all right? See if the board does it correctly. Whoa! There we go. It's looking right a little bit. I like the fact that it's over 48.5. And there, we're going to make a lot of you guys sorry, I was replying to something. But as far as this one goes, I like it. And I know we're going to make some of you guys unhappy, but here, we're running late, and I just gave you guys a bone. I gave you guys a bone. A lot of people are saying under in the Georgia game. And Georgia is a very scary team to bet an under on. Georgia is a very scary team to bet an under on. Why? Because they put up an absolute shit pile of points. All right? They put up an absolute shit pile of points. Insane amount of points. No joke. Give me 1 second, folks. Alrighty, let's see here. So, moving along into the next one. I'm just taking ganders at, some early games. That I like as well. Besides, what else we have. And again, if you're not on premium plays or my personal plays, you're going to flat out miss out. The Central Florida game, I'm not going to do a full breakdown because we only have 5 minutes, but I will roll over a couple of them. That way it'll actually speed up the process a little bit for us. As far as... Give me 1 second, folks. I was just trying to make sure I bet all the games real quick that we have rolling. Central Florida and Cincinnati. This number, 22. I've liked Cincinnati. First of all, I don't think they're the real deal. That I don't. I've never thought that they are the real deal. But I think they have an opportunity to cover the 22. So I do like that one. Again, just a little lean on Cincinnati. Just a little lean. And that's just more of a lean just to help you guys out. Florida and LSU. I don't like anybody in this situation. Maybe the over 61. Maybe the over 61. And that's about it. As far as the side goes, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Now, as far as, let's say, Oklahoma State, Texas. Texas, baby, all day long. Definitely something that I do like. I do like Texas laying the 3. I did not make it a personal play because I figured I already had enough that were probably in a little bit of the stronger category, if you know what I mean. But I do like Texas. That line dropped from 3.5 to 3. If it was, below that, if it was in the 2 to 2.5 mark, it would probably definitely be enticing, to say the least. No doubt about it, it would. Edward says Texas is money today. That I do agree. That I do agree with you, brother. That I do agree with you. So we have 2 minutes left before shit pops off. And, excuse me. Taking a gander at a couple first quarter overs. That Nebraska first quarter over is plus money. It's plus money, folks. Over 9.5. I do like it. I do like it. Michigan State's first quarter over is enticing, and that starts here in just a few minutes. Of course, when I go back to look at things, it's got to shift on me to NFL, and NFL is tomorrow. I hate when the sportsbook apps do that. Yeah, Nebraska's total is over 10.5, at plus money at plus 108. It's definitely enticing. I did put a little on it. Nothing crazy, that's for sure, but I did put a little on it. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to make sure I have everything in. Okay, I should. Wow. Oh, they just closed out the Nebraska total. Bummer. I just tried to bet the first quarter over in the Tulsa, South Florida game. It gave me a max wager of $40. You guys know that one's a winner, right? All right, so we'll try and do that one live then once the game starts. Literally. Alrighty, so moving along past the 9 o'clock games. I got time before we got to call FC to talk about a couple of them. Post in the comment section which game. I can't promise you all that we'll do them all because I only got time for maybe 1 or 2 good ones. What game would you guys like me to go over with you guys? Post in the comment section. If I have an opportunity to, I will. I'm not going to obviously be able to do them all. But I'm definitely going to try. By the way, soccer was a nice big 2-0 yesterday. Edward, I believe I was saying the Nebraska and the Tulsa over. Tulsa over in the first quarter. They only allowed me to. They gave me a max $40 wager. Like whoop-de-doo, right? Yeah, they gave me nothing on that one. And I haven't seen any live lines just yet. Not at least on any FanDuel or anything like that. But I'm sure they'll be popping up here in the next couple of minutes once the games actually kick off. The BYU game, we can definitely take a look at the BYU game. Give me 1 second, we will. Edward, 40 is 40, right? And I tried to bet the 40 and it locked me out. It wouldn't even let me do the 40 at that time. Let's see. Well, I'm just looking for the BYU game number. That way we can do it. It's 169 and 170. BYU catching 5 against Baylor. Kyle's drinks don't cost 40. Crack me up. BYU plus the 5 against Baylor. Baylor has just been a team on a mission. And when you talk about Baylor, you got to take a look at their turnaround. 5-1 straight up. Their only loss was to Oklahoma State, where they lost by 10. They just beat West Virginia 45-20 in a beatdown. They withstood Iowa State 31-29. They smoked Kansas 45-7. They smoked Texas Southern 66-7 and Texas State in the beginning of the year. You take a look at BYU. They're coming off their loss to Boise State. Boise State showed the blueprint to beat BYU, and I fell for that one. I haven't liked BYU in like 2 years. Now, we've played them from time to time, that you guys all know. But we really haven't been all in on the BYU train. Raymond, we've got plays on that as far as premium and personal plays, so got to be on board for that one if you want to know. Or watch tomorrow's daily free play video and you'll get a recap. Alrighty, so the Nebraska line is up, and there's no first quarter live total. And it looks like we're punting on a 3-and-out. That total is already down a half a point to 47.5. But as far as, Baylor goes, their offense, back to what Baylor does, 38.3 points per game. They're averaging 227 on the ground, a 6-yard per carry run average. They're averaging 234 in the air, an impressive 9.3 yards per passing attempt. And then you look at that stingy defense. They're giving up just 17.8 points per game. They're giving up 146 on the ground, 175 in the air. They're +6 on turnovers. Honestly, I do not have a play on this Baylor game at 3:30 Eastern time, but I like Baylor. I really do. I don't think BYU comes in on the road after a tough home loss against Boise State, and I don't think they could push Baylor around. That BYU defense, they're giving up 20.5 points a game, but their secondary is a liability. They're giving up 238 at 7 yards per carry. I think Baylor has a field day with them. I think Baylor will most definitely try and establish a major run against them. Now, they may stall out from time to time, but once they get things rolling, I think they make easy work of it. I don't have a dollar on the game, but if I was, it would be on Baylor laying the 5. Hey, guys, hold on 1 second, okay? Hold on 1 second. All right, we're back. I don't know where my screen went. I didn't even close the screen. Oh, there we go. But again, I like Baylor here. I really do. I really do. Of course, there's no live first quarter total on the Nebraska game. Of course not. But again, I do like Baylor here. I'm texting FC right now because I believe he's ready. Alrighty. So, waiting on FC's good word, and then we're going to bring him on. But going over some of the other games, Kentucky and Georgia. Georgia laying 21.5 with a total of 44.5. Guys, over. Georgia's offense is absolutely insane. Georgia's offense is insane. That total is going over. That total is going over if you ask me. $44.5. I like it. Edwards says, and Georgia's defense can get the ball back every possession. Literally. And Georgia's defense will probably score too. Alex, you're on Nebraska's first quarter over 13. That's a high line. That's definitely a high line because I got 10.5 on FanDuel 13, but I think they hit it though. I got 10.5 at plus money at plus 105. So, all right, folks, let's call FC and see what kind of damage we can do with the old man. I'm going to give him a hard time like we always do. If you guys don't know who FC is, he is our local resident and expert and the one that gives you guys all that good UFC stuff.
Hello?
Doctor.
Shit. We got to be live then, huh?
No, we're not live. No, I'm just hanging out waiting for these guys to come join us, and we're going to go live in a little bit. I thought I'd just call and bug you, though. How's everything? How's
you don't address me like that unless we're live, so I'm guessing you're lying.
Doctor. I know I address you much worse than that. We won't discuss when I call you live. I'll probably.
But hey, look. We won our Bellator fight pick of the year.
Yeah, but that
I didn't get to
old.
call and celebrate.
That's like a month ago. You didn't want to come on live last week. You were too busy for us. Yada. You were too busy with the UFC.
Yeah, so I didn't come on because I was busy with the UFC. And then I was busy last week because this week we have Bellator and the UFC. And the amount of work that gets put in for these cards, I mean, I'm telling you guys, every week I come on here and I tell you to buy it, and it's just a no-brainer. And the amount of work that went in for this week is crazy. I'm glad I'm able to come on today. Bellator starts at 7, UFC starts at 4 Eastern. But hey, look, I just wanted to shout it out there. We won our fight pick of the year.
You did.
It was plus 160 when the line dropped. We put it out at plus 100. Yeah. But it's funny because everyone for some odd reason, I see it. Everyone says, "Oh, I can just guess what the max fight pick's going to be," or I could guess. No, you can't. Like we put out a plus 100 as the fight pick of the year. Anything's up for grabs when when it's a max fight pick or when it's a fight pick of the year. So, hey, look, we had information on MVP. We had information that Douglas Lima was injured. He was injured coming into that fight. He had a horrible weight cut. He was traveling all the way over there. We knew that the judges. I knew exactly who was going to be judging that fight a week in advance. There were boxing judges over there. I mean, it was set. And when I called you about that fight, I said, look, I know for a fact this fighter's going to win. He's an underdog, and it's probably going to come down to a split decision, but I can guarantee we're going to win it. And you were like, well, let's do it. And everyone in the office was like, go ahead. We trust you. Let's do it. So we threw it out there, and that's what it boils down to, is just having this knowledge. And for this card, we have UFC, which is a little bit earlier. We have Aspen Ladd is coming in versus Norma Dumont. Aspen Ladd was supposed to fight last week versus Macy Chiasson. She had a horrible weight cut. If you watch anything, I was right there, pretty close. She was saying things like, I'm going to bleed on the scale. You can't, so she was having her time of the month. She wouldn't get undressed. She was shaking. She was falling all over the place. So they canceled that fight because she missed by 1 pound. And Macy decided, you know what, I don't want to take the fight. So then they booked her up a weight class this week. So she's coming off of having a weight cut last week. She's looking very, very good this week. She's looking very strong. It's a 5-round fight. We have a good amount of bets on both cards, but I'm telling you guys, I would go buy both cards and I would buy both max fight picks, and then I would take my money and I would buy a new car on Monday. Because that's how confident I am.
Hold on. Everybody quiet. The goat is speaking. UFC just says you should buy Bellator and the UFC. Take that money and then buy a car on Monday. Holy.
Well, I mean, it's easy for me to be confident on these things because there's so much work that goes in, and anything can happen. Sorry, you got my Apple Watch here going crazy now. Yeah, anything can happen. Like, so we minimize all those things. And in this, I'm confident every week. You know, when I talked to you last week, I was confident in the max fight pick last week, which won in the UFC. And I told you, yeah, you can go in hard. This is a good one. We're going to lose the first round, and then we're going to pick up the next two. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know Tim Elliott came out, James Krause. I talked to both of them. They were uber confident. Had their game plans, that's what we do. So for this week, we have max fight picks in Bellator and the UFC. We've never lost a max fight pick in Bellator in 2 years. We have a solid one for this week. And we have a really good max fight pick for the UFC. Confident in both of those plays. And then we have a variety of bets within both cards that are just super solid. Both cards are money-making cards. They set up well. And honestly, out of both of them, I would say the UFC is the most trappy. So if you're one of these people that say, you know what, he's got great information, but forget what he says. I'm going to go ahead and bet it myself. This is not the card to do that. We put stayaways out there for a reason. We tell you, within even some stayaways, I tell you, take a stab at this fighter by this method. We did it with Julian Erosa, 4 weeks ago. I told you he was going to win by submission. In the write-up, I put in there he was going to win by Darce choke. He wins by Darce choke in the third round to cash out at like plus 900 or something. So, there are little sprinkles in there for those reasons. I know people just put like $10, $20 on those sprinkles and come out crazy on top at the end of the night. But we tell you what to stay away from. There's a lot of underdogs. I feel like this is going to be an underdog card for the UFC. I think there are going to be some shockers in Bellator. And, yeah, I think those are the fights that we either bet on the underdog because the value's there, the game plan's there, everything checks every box, or we stay away because the game plan might not necessarily be right. Or they have plan A, plan B, plan C. Plan C is their best method of victory, but their ass is going to go between plan A and plan B first. They may end up dropping 2 rounds, but, they have a really good, solid skill set. They're a big underdog, and had they gone to plan C, they would probably win this easily. So it's knowing that information and moving forward and knowing what's going to happen and getting to know these guys is the reason why I'm telling you guys, get both these cards, get both these maxes. Let's make some money.
So this is what I want to talk about. This is what the people want to talk about. And by the way, congratulations for winning the Fight Pick of the Year. I will recognize that. You absolutely kicked ass. And what I want to talk about.
We haven't dropped the max fight pick since then either. So.
You haven't dropped a Bellator one ever. So what I want to talk about.
Yeah, and we haven't dropped the UFC one in like 10 weeks or something like that. I mean, we had a draw
on a while. But what I want to talk about is I want to talk about fight 24114, which is Henry Corrales. Let's talk about in Bellator later on today. And we're going to give the people something. All right, you didn't come on last week. You hid from us after your big win. We're giving the people something. So let's talk about this.
I did not want to do this, but
yeah, I know.
I mean, just buy the. We made the card affordable for a reason. Just buy the card. I'm telling you guys. Yeah, it's crazy. But all right, so you want to talk about Henry Corrales? Henry Corrales is a little bit past his prime when it comes to age. I know a lot of people are going against him here, but this guy that Bellator is bringing in, he's crushed a lot of cans, and man, he just looked like shit in Bellator. He looks horrible, and I watch him train. His timing looks off. He looks off. I'm watching Henry Corrales. Henry Corrales at 135, he gets knocked out. He gets beat to the punch. His speed translates better at 145. This fight is at 145. Yes, is he past his prime? Yeah. Is he a little slower today than he was, let's say, 5 years ago? Yeah. Was he once a title contender and considered possibly could contend for a belt? Yeah. And is he that now? No. So there are some reasons why his line, we put it out at actually it was minus 125. He was plus 100 earlier out in the week. He may even be plus money now, but the line's fluctuating around that pick'em price. I like Henry Corrales here. I think Henry Corrales comes out here and
it's probably since we sold a lot, but the line actually moved. I know it opened up. We had it yesterday at 125 and went closer to a pick'em. He's actually now laying 132 at Bet Online, and literally in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, that's still a really good price for him. I think he just comes out here and just puts on a showcase. He's been talking about, hey, I only have a few more left in me. I know he wants to go off on a win. I know he's fighting at the weight class where I actually like him at. And in this fight, I mean, his takedown defense is solid enough. His striking, he still has really good speed and he has really good power. The biggest issue with Henry Corrales is, and it's the same thing in the UFC. We have a fighter in the UFC who fights not necessarily the same way, but there's a fighter who just believes in their chin. You know, it's in the UFC, it's Nate Landwehr. Then in that fight, the guy just believes in his chin. He puts his chin out there. He doesn't care if he gets hit. He's going to go forward. He's going to take one in order to give you two because he believes that his two is going to knock you out, knock you down, and put you in a compromised position to where he's going to get a submission or be able to get a ground-and-pound finish. Henry Corrales comes from that same old-school mentality where he doesn't tuck his chin well. He leaves it out there to get hit. But good thing for Henry Corrales, he's not fighting a world beater. He's fighting a kid who doesn't travel well, doesn't know English, struggled in the UFC in his debut. I think he was a minus 700 and lost in his debut fight in the UFC. This is the kind of person we're dealing with here. Henry Corrales should come out here and should roll this guy. The only reason we didn't go crazy on Henry Corrales and make him like max fight pick is because we do know Henry Corrales has got issues with his chin. We do know his fighting style isn't necessarily, well, it's fan-friendly. It's not necessarily, it doesn't make for a long career. Longevity is not necessarily there for these kind of fighters who fight this way. So there's some risk involved in the fact that he does stick his chin out there, but I think the risk reward here, we put 1 unit down. I usually give you guys like 0.25 unit bets. Kyle just picked a 1 unit one, which is, for us, that's a pretty good solid bet. I put a lot on 1 unit. So I'm really confident Henry Corrales. I think he comes out here and he puts on a little bit of a showcase. Whether this goes to a decision or not, I think, man, I think it could, and that's the thing. That's the reason why it's a 1-unit bet. If I believe that Henry Corrales' only path to victory here, his win condition was knockout, it would be a smaller bet. But the fact is, I think he can knock him out. I think he can submit him, and I think he can win a decision. So, super solid bet. But I'm telling you guys, jump on this Bellator card. The max fight pick on Bellator is just it's phenomenal. We have insider information on this max fight pick that I mean, it's super solid, and we have great information about the UFC one too. And that's why we come up with max fight picks. That's how we do it. We make sure that we have the best information. Both of these are crazy solid. You can go ahead and put money on them, and so you don't have to watch the fight. Just walk away, come back to your bank account, and see that it has accumulated wealth. So I think both these cards are super solid. Get these max fight picks, and let's make this money, man.
Well, I have it up on the board as a free play. Henry Corrales -125. It's -132 now, though. As soon as we posted it, somebody bet it and probably changed it. But it is a 1-unit play. We do appreciate you coming on board with us. And you guys heard the man. He says get on the UFC for $29.99 and the max fight pick for $25. And after you clean house with that, no matter what, make sure you guys get on that Bellator because he's going to be rocking that one as well. And you guys know all his Bellators have been like near sweeps or sweeps. And he's never lost a max fight pick for you guys in Bellator yet. He's never lost a big one, and I know this guy does not plan on losing one today. That's for sure. That is for
sure. I'm super confident in both these cards. And I'm also very confident that if people bet UFC and Bellator on their own, they're probably going to lose money. So there's a lot of traps. There's a lot of spots where underdogs are going to shine. There's spots in the UFC where you'll see a stay away from us, but in the write-up, I say, dude, this guy's very live, and these are the reasons why he's live. And it could be because the other person's injured. It could be because the heavy favorite is injured. No one knows it, but, I mean, a few individuals, I know it. We put it in the write-up, and even injured, they could come out here and wipe the floor because, they're favored for a reason. They have a skill set that is better than the underdog. And then there's some spots that we have in the UFC, especially, that I'm like, the underdog should be the favorite. This is crazy. Like, there's no way. I don't know how this line got put this way, but someone messed up. And so there's spots here and there, and that's why we encourage you to just jump on the card and let's have a good time. Let's make some money. This is no different than the last few weeks when it comes down to making money. I'm telling you guys, get it, buy it, let's go.
Well, I know I'm ready. Ready for another kick-ass UFC, just like last week. And we're going to start with UFC. UFC's now, let's confirm, UFC starts at 4 p.m. Eastern time, correct?
Yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern. Actually, I think it's 4:30 now. We had a fight drop. Yeah, we had a fight drop out.
That's why we don't list, fight times on our web, on the website when we post the plays, is because the order of the fights are always changing, and people are like, oh, I want to bet this fight, so they come back at this time. And they find out it already went off 4 fights earlier, and then they get mad at us. So when we post the plays, we post them at the time in order of where they're supposed to go. And, the UFC and Bellator, they change that on the fly based on who they want in prelims and who they want on the main card and who drops out and whatnot. So, things.
Yeah, those things change, and I mean,
we can't control.
And I could tell you now that I don't even know if they put. I mean, I have the sheet in front of me. The Nate Landwehr fight got moved up, and Julian Marquez.
Yeah, it did.
Julian Marquez got he was sick. I mean, he was cutting weight. He was going to fight the Beverly Hills Ninja. We were actually going to have a bet on that fight, but we knew what we knew. And sometimes the most frustrating thing is when we have crazy great knowledge and we're like, this fighter's injured. Like, there's no doubt he can't even walk, right? And then they don't make it to the fight because they pull out the night before, and we were going to slam that bet for 2 or 3 units because we knew that one fighter was injured. That stuff gets frustrating, but good thing for us is that what we knew, I anticipated that it was going to be too much for him to even cut weight. So even in that, there wasn't going to be too much there. So we knew that he was going to be cut. We just didn't know what order the UFC was going to dictate the fights, and so they just moved up the Nate Landwehr fight based on my sheet here. And so it says 4:35, but I mean, I would expect you have your bets in by 4. That's when the card was originally supposed to pop off, and anything can happen. Fighters can drop out because they just, they get anxiety and they don't want to fight on the night of. And like Kyle said, sometimes the UFC or Bellator will push back their card because with the Bellator they have a certain time slot for showtime, and with UFC they have a certain deal with ESPN Plus that they have to be on at a certain time and end at a certain time. So grab both these cards by 4 o'clock. I know some people are gonna procrastinate. They're gonna jump on the UFC since it's early. They're gonna bet the UFC. Then they're gonna forget that Bellator's at 7. They're gonna miss out on money. I'm telling you right now, just don't be that person. I get text messages from clients all the time. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I should have bought it. Or I have people that are on for like a month and they just didn't renew because I didn't remind them or the system didn't remind them, and they come at me on the same day like this because they're like, "Oh man, I didn't know, I didn't get it. How did we do?" And then I'll show them that we won every single bet but one, and they're freaking out and they hate themselves. Don't be that person. Don't hate yourself for not buying it or just getting one and waiting to buy the other. Just get them both now. Bet them. Let's make some money because these lines may end up changing for, the negative. So just get it now. Let's make some money, man.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and it's always a pleasure to have you on, brother. And I wish you the best of luck today in both cards and both Max White picks. And it's gonna be a big money making day, man. It's gonna be a big money making day.
Yeah, man. Let's make some money.
We'll talk to you later in the week. I know you got some big stuff planned for coming up. Whoa. He's FaceTiming me. You were FaceTiming me.
Yeah, I accidentally pressed the wrong button. My bad.
It's all good. All right, brother.
I got people texting me. I got people texting me in UFC. I'm trying. Bellator's in Phoenix and in UFC's in Vegas. I'm trying to do a lot of things to be at sort of both events at different times. So.
Well, we know you are. We appreciate it. And come on live with us later in the week.
All right, brother. Take it easy. You guys, let's get on this.
You.
Let's make some money.
Okay.
All right, man. Bye.
There you have it, folks. The man, the myth, the legend, Dr. FC, Dr. 9.5 Digits himself. Coming on live with you guys, giving you guys something good. Well, it was actually me giving you guys something good. It was me pulling it out of him, if you guys heard that. He was like, just make him buy the card. He didn't want to give you guys jack shit, but we pulled it out of him. It's like pulling teeth with the guy, but hey, we got it out of him. But anyways, that's what I have for this morning. We will have a members-only video later on today. There will be a members-only video here in a little bit. All right, folks, members-only video here in just a little bit. Probably about an hour, hour and a half. It's later on today, the play, so got plenty of time. But members-only video later on today. All right, guys? Edward says, nobody talking about Guaranteed Saturday. Thank you for the reminder. Guaranteed Saturday. You only have 3 hours. All right? You literally have 3 hours to get on board. It's 50% off. It's just $75. If you're not on it, you need to get on it. All right, if you're not on it, you need to get on it. I just posted a link to it. Instant access as soon as you do. Next week, probably won't be 50% off. It'll probably be back to the regular price. I was already told it was actually supposed to be this week, but luckily everybody is on COVID, or out for COVID. So not luckily for them, but luckily for you guys that they didn't raise the price. So nonetheless, get on board, guys. That's what we have. It's going to be a great day today. Let's make a boatload of money. And come on, Minnesota, Nebraska, start scoring some more points. Going for a long field goal from the 40 right now. And we'll see if we can get to 10 with 4 minutes to go. Jesus definitely bought everything early in the week. And field goal is good. 7-3, we're at 10. Half a point away from cash in that one. All right, folks, I am out.